Hello everyone, about to do a little tutorial video or whatever to show you how to get sort of better performance, less vibration, and just basically how to get these TGS props balanced correctly. I know a lot of people, they don't like them because they say they're unbalanced and things like that, but there's few little tricks here to show you how to get them to work properly. Basically, as you can see here, I've got this is a 6x5 TGS prop, and that's just the first one I just grabbed out of the box, and I thought I'd show you here. Right, so this is fresh out of the packet, and basically there is one problem with these props, is a lot of the time the adapter hub rings, they don't quite fit in there properly. Not all the time. Just take that off. The original EMP ones, they used to fit a lot better. Just take the little nib off there with a knife. But these TGS ones, I swear they're basically copy of EMPs, and you can get these from Banggood, but they're KMP Props, so they've got all different sorts of names. Another place I get them from, they just say, you know, what is it they call them? They just call them high efficiency value props. But yeah, anyway, so basically I've got the hub ring there, and as you see, if you put it in, it just falls straight out. It's not tight in there at all, so it just falls straight out. And obviously it needs to go in there with some degree, because if you just put that in, put that on the motor hub, it's going to be wiggling around, and it's not going to be balanced, and it's going to vibrate. Even with it all done up, it's going to be slightly off center, whichever way you do it. So, and also sometimes you can get the same thing on these, although that one fits pretty good actually. That one fits nice and tight on there, so that one's alright. Sometimes you get them, and also, like when you get prop adapters and things, they're never always the same for some reason. So the way you can do that is, if it's not fit on there nice and tight, if it moves, just wrap some tape around there and keep trying it until you've got a nice snug fit, and then the prop won't move around. And that's also what I do on there. The other thing is, if you've got any of these cheap APC knockoff props, if you've got a load of those and you want to try the TGS props, if you get the hub rings for those, normally, or sometimes, I shouldn't say normally, but a lot of the time, if you get those, they actually sometimes, let's see if it works on this one. Now I've said it, probably won't work, but oh, trim that a bit cleaner. Yeah, there we go. If you've got the APC ones, they fit nice and snug in there, and they don't fit out, they don't fall out. But if you haven't got any of those, the spare hub rings, then what you do is basically you get your hub ring, and with a nice sharp clean pair of scissors, if you're cutting a lot of sellotape and stuff, you're going to get a horrible film build up on your scissors. So I use just a cleaning alcohol just on a rag, and I make sure the scissors are really nice and clean, and then get a roll of 2-inch sellotape, be where I can't find the end now, won't it? Where are we? There we are. Now this is very tricky to do, but if you get your scissors and you need to just cut a very thin bit of tape, which is why this is quite tricky, but it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it, and you just cut a nice thin, very thin strip, if you can see that, of tape, and then you wrap it round the hub ring. Just try and get it reasonably neat. Try and get it reasonably neat, and then try it again. Make sure if you've got an overlap, just sort of try and tuck it round so it doesn't push the tape off, and just try to tuck it in. So that's still, that's better. It's not coming out. There you go. It's still coming out a bit. So you just got to do another layer of tape. Like I said, this is very tricky to do. Try and get it nice and straight. Oops. Like I said, let's try that again. Like I said, it's not easy to do. There we go. There we go. That's a nice one. Try and find the end of where you got up to before. Wrap another layer around. There we go. Try it again. And if it's too tight, try and find the end, peel it back, cut a bit off, try again. Because that's getting a lot tighter now. Make sure those ends are tucked in. Sometimes it's really tricky to get in. There we go. That's it. Nice and tight. That ain't coming out. So it's a nice tight fit now. There's a lot more central, and it should help with the balancing. Now, how I balance my props, I've sort of gone through stages of how I balance them, and this is my old, well, this is two of my old version rigs. Turn it around that way. I made a magnetic balancer before, and that's how I balanced them before, but I found the trouble is with a magnetic balancer is after a while the shaft becomes magnetized and it keeps wanting to go to the same spot, and so I used to have to take the shaft out. That's why it's all discoloured. Take the shaft off and heat it up to demagnetize it, let it cool down, and then you'd be able to use it again, and but it'd only last about 5-10 minutes, and then it would become all magnetised again. So didn't like that. So I went to using, so you can see that. Oh, yeah, it's a bit. Get that a bit lower. Let me just adjust the camera there. Yeah, so what I did was I started ending up using a motor and just poking it through there and using the bearings, but it works alright, but I found it to just not be quite accurate enough with small light props, so it just wouldn't be fine enough for doing small light props. So that idea kind of went. So Ground Control RC recently did a video. Let's do that again. Yeah, Ground Control RC recently did a video of balancing props and showed people that something I've always agreed with, is that you don't just balance the prop from tip to tip, you balance it from the sides of the hub as well, because they can be quite out. And the one he was using seemed pretty good, and it was an original Dupro balancer, but over here cheapest I could get one was about 40 quid, which is, I don't know, nearly $60 or something. I couldn't justify paying that much, so I got one of these cheaper knockoff OCDAY ones. Cost me about £15–16, because I got it within a few days. I could have got it for cheaper, would have been about £10–11 if I got it from China, but you know, I wanted it a bit sooner, and it is a knockoff one. I don't think it's as good as the Dupro, to be honest, but it could work out alright. So I'm going to use this from now on, and I'm not using the shaft rod that come with it, because it's a lot of faffing about with the springs and other things. So I'm using my original one, because it's, all I've got to do is just take it on and off, and it's, you know, works fine. So basically, so yeah, so these TGS ones are out of balance, but you know, it's not too bad. It is out of balance. But what I do is, if you keep your packet that it came in, and basically chop some of the bits off like that, and I've got loads of these bits, so I just chop bits off. Get yourself some super glue, and you find which is the light end, so that would be your light end. Put a bit of super glue on there, then you get these, and you just use that to like smooth it out across the blade. So it just adds a bit of weight, nice and smooth. Give it a little blow to dry it. Yeah, you see this one isn't quite as good as the Dupro. Yeah, I might have to take this apart actually and see if I can make it work a bit smoother. But I mean, it's balanced better on the tips. But it looks like it's off on the hub. So the other thing I do is also, you get these in the packet, so you can again just cut some of this off. Just cut little rectangles of it. Might need to be slightly thinner actually, or any paper will do. But these are normally slightly thicker, so there's a bit more weight there. And be careful doing this, because you can quite easily, like I have quite a few times, stuck my fingers together doing it. But put some super glue on there. Push that on there, try and get it central. Hold that down. If you've got some nails, thumbnails, use your nails, not your skin, to push it down. Yeah, and don't push and hold, because you'll glue your fingers to it. So move it about, and that will just add a bit of weight on there. It was a bit better than it was. So that's there. So I think that's still slightly off, so just put a little dab more super glue on there. Get your bit of plastic again. Smooth that along. If you put too much on, you can either put some on the other side, or get a bit of sandpaper or whatever, some nice fine stuff, rub that down, and then you're taking material off the super glue, not taking material off the prop. So yeah, I've definitely got to take this apart. So I've literally just put it together now, so it's not performing that brilliantly. So I might have to take it apart and see if I can make it run smoother. But yeah, you can see the hub is out of balance there. See, it seems alright that way, but not alright that way. So it might be I put too much glue on there. So just give it a blow, make sure it's all dry. Take a little bit off. Make sure once you've sanded it, you remove all the dust, because the dust is the material you've taken off. So think that may be the hub still. So get your little bits of paper again, whatever you're using. I'll make that little bit a bit smaller. Another dab of super glue there. Not quite central. Pull that off, try it again. Press that down. See, that's a lot better, isn't it? Still wants to go that way a little bit. Yeah, it definitely isn't as smooth as the Proper 2 Pro. Anyway, probably just needs a little tiny fine adjustment. Just put a tiny drop more glue on there. Smooth that out really thinly so you're not putting too much on. Anyway, I think it would look better with a better prop balancer. But there you go. Anyway, when you get the idea, it's about getting that central hub centralised with the tape, and then it will work a lot better. And you might have to you know, put in a little bit more effort with getting these balanced, but with your basic 6x4 APC Electric, when you consider that you can get 25% more thrust out of these sometimes, these propellers, the TGS props, I think just spending a little extra effort just making sure they're balanced properly, you know, you get quite a good benefit from them. So anyway, that's my little video on the TGS props, just making sure that they're centralised, just trying to get the best performance out of them. Anyway, thanks for watching.